I want you to try, listen to me. I want you to try to chase this little chicken.
Oh, what do I gotta chase a chicken for? It's embarrassing, you know?
First, because I said so. And second, because chicken chasing is how we always used to train in the old days.
Yeah.
You catch this thing, you can catch greased lightning. Ready?
Yeah, well, I'd rather eat it than chase it. It ain't very mature,
Listen.
but if you say
Well,
so.
neither are you very mature. Now listen, get this thing.
A fighter ain't a farmer.
Come on, go on and get him. Get him. Come on, what's the matter with you?
Because look, you guys know, we all know, every YouTuber knows DMCA strikes are BS, right?
Yes.
The complete BS. People are able to submit bad faith DMCA strikes on YouTube for no reason whatsoever. So Nintendo is no stranger to that.
I'm retarded?
I know you guys are going to think I'm gay, but I hate this feud. I like you guys, all of you guys, and it sucks. Like it just sucks that you guys are fighting.
Then why'd you start it?
I know, I didn't mean to. It was accidental.
Damn it, Nina.
Damn it. I didn't know Dick was such a dick. That's why.
How do you not know that?
I know. I should have. It was one of the first times I was meeting him.
It's like the butterfly effect. I honestly feel that attack on October 7th in Israel wouldn't have taken place if you just kept your mouth shut.
That's true.
It's all your fault, Nina.
Who's that? You're mine.
Put that check in a money market mutual fund. Then we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
What's all gone?
The money in your account. It didn't do too well. It's gone.
What do you mean? I have $100.
Not anymore, you don't. Poof.
I'm assuming these tunnels are where they are keeping Sleepy Joe's spare meat suits. Oh, God, it looks like that mattress came straight from one of Hunter's videos. This whole synagogue looks like some shithole country like India. I keep expecting to see Vivek pop up to sell me pharmaceuticals or cook with his feet. Wow, look at him go amazing. These guys should take some advice from those Palestinians. I hear they build great tunnels.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Outlawed Apes. I'm here with Armed Ape. Kareem is not quite in yet, but I do think he'll be joining tonight. He's probably just jacking off somewhere meditating. So I don't know.
On that
if you're
note,
not here, we
Kings.
yeah. If you're not here, we make fun of you on this show. That's how it works.
Yes. Hey, special shout out to Mr. 42. I saw you in the chat. A good friend of the channel, of the On Deck channel. Want to say hello.
Yeah, awesome guy in the chat. I see a couple new people I haven't seen before, so that's cool. I see JC always back as usual. Couple interesting things to cover tonight. I did put the StreamYard link pinned at the top of the chat. I'm going to start doing that, especially when it's sort of like not a super packed news day. So we kind of have other stuff. And also because we're going to be talking about, I'm sure at some point, other people. And that way, if those people want to come on the show, they can. I have a pretty much open floor on that stuff. Yeah, I got a bunch of topics together, try to keep it a little bit flowy like last show. I figure actually what we'll do first is I want to cover the non-comic related thing up front because this was sort of interesting. So I covered Brandon Herrera and his race in District 23. And I didn't know that you had any sort of background with his stuff or anything like that. I saw a couple comments get made on the YouTube channel being like, hey, you might want to talk about this. Oh, speak of the devil, there's a wild Kareem appears.
Yeah, I believe in anarchy. Rothbard flavor.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so what I was just asking Armed Ape here is about the Brandon Herrera, because I made a video on his race in District 23. That thing ended up getting like 4,300 views, so it did pretty good as a video. I'll add, but yeah, I wanna hear this whole story. What's the background there?
Okay, I look. Good old Brandy. He's my favorite. I love a Brandy. Let me tell you something. So, first, I'd like to say congratulations for making it to a runoff. I mean, if you go back and look at the last video where I talked about him a little bit, I told him, I said, hey, listen, what is between us is easy between us, okay? There are some things which I will get into, but good luck on your race, okay? I said, look, as much as sometimes he gets to me, and sometimes he really gets it to me, I'm okay with him running, and I hope he wins. I hope he goes in, and I hope he wins, because one thing I know, as much as a content stealer and idea stealer that he is, he does stand for the Second Amendment, okay? So I will grant him that, and good luck. I mean, but it's Texas, and he's running against a Republican, right? Is it a rhino, or is it, I don't know how he's even running against, but all I know is the guy will be good on the Second Amendment, and if he gets elected, that means we'll probably get less videos, and I'm all in favor of that. So I'm good with that. Okay, backstory. I have never met, nor have I ever even talked to Brandon Herrera. But about 6 years ago, when I first got my first AK, I looked around for a channel to say, okay, I have this rifle. I have shot ARs my whole life, okay? ARs and regular rifles, whatever. Never owned AK. So I figured, okay, if I'm going to own this piece of a shit, I better understand this piece of a shit. So I look around for a channel that could give me a good idea of what the hell it was I had and how to clean it, how to maintenance, how to run it, how to sight, all the bullshit, you know. I found a channel called Zeke Shoots, okay? Good guy. He knows. That guy is like, they call him, they call Brandon AK Jesus, okay? Brandon is not the original AK Jesus. The original AK Jesus was Zeke Shoots. Right about the time I subscribe and start watching, it's about around the same time that Brandon, who was there and who had talked to him a lot and learned a lot from Zeke, disappeared. From that point, Brandon went on, started working his own channel, and it blew up, okay? A lot of things he did, a lot of things he talked about were ideas that Zeke had already done. So he was like, he likes to pinch, and he likes to pull, and he likes to repackage ideas and concepts. into his own thing. If you look at him now, I mean, what is his channel now? Gun meme review and bullshit. Okay, how much actual? I mean, he occasionally he will pull out a gun and we will shoot it and talk about it. When he first started, he was all about, that's why he got the name AK Jesus, because he would sit there and talk about all the stuff with the AKs that he learned from Zeke and some other people. And okay, great. All right, you do your channel, you do your thing the way you do. But be original, okay? The final straw for me, son of a bitch, the final straw for me was when I saw the video he did with, oh shit, what the hell is his name? Administrative Results, that's it. Administrative Results is another lunatic, like me, who run around in a mask, okay? Risky Krisky, Administrative Results, me, lunatics in masks shooting guns. Okay. That video, this is the video that showed to me that Brandon watches my shit, okay? I know he does, because at the very beginning of that video, he's standing there, and here comes running in Administrative Results in his mask and sunglasses. Brandon takes one look at him and goes, "Greetings!" And I was like, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. So to me, it was like, okay, if I'm good enough for you to look at that, make a joke, and use you go and look at my videos. Every video starts off the same way. Catch pattern, 3 women spinning in color, crazy gypsy music, and me. Greetings. That's it. That is my signature beginning. To me, it was like, you are a channel with over 1 million subscribers. I'm a channel with significantly less than that. If you are watching my shit, I know I bust your balls, but we are grown men. That's just what we do. You can't even give one shout out. You can take what I do. You can use what I do. You can reference what I do. You can't even say armed ape one time. So that to me was like, okay, you are doing what you do, Brandon. You see something, you like it, you take it. It's like the meme, right? Someone says, I made this. Someone comes up, looks, takes it. I made this. No, Brandon, you did not make it. Okay. You take it. You don't make, you take. So, but as I said, when it comes to the running and the race, I hope he wins. I swear to God, as much as he gets under my skin sometimes, Brandon, good luck. I hope you win.
Yes, and if he's principal libertarian, I hope he wins too. And if he can't,
I think he's running as a Republican against a guy in Texas whose primary issue was he was the Republican in Texas who signed on to the red flag laws and one other law that was fairly anti-Second Amendment. And Brandon decided to run specifically because I think he just thought he could probably have an in to win if he ran as a Republican in that district. And it is interesting. It's going to go to a runoff. He got 25%. The other got 45%. In that district, the way it works, you have to get 50% to win. Otherwise, it goes to a runoff. So theoretically, he could win because there's still votes out there from the other candidates that are going to be poolable. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I'll probably keep an eye on the race and talk about it on here if there's like a major update when it happens.
Please do. You're Joe Vogler 2.0. We need to pull Alaska out of the union. That's your that's your main destiny. And teach people how to align their chakras once you get the good stuff.
Right now, I've got to deal with the convention up here, so that'll be the next mess I deal with.
But you know what? If he doesn't win in Texas, I think there's a place that does not have red flag laws, I guarantee you, and it has open carry. And it is the great not Republic of Haiti. So
yeah, you can go compete with good old barbecue over there.
High quality barbecue.
Yeah. Well, if people taste good, could try it.
I'm good.
Who knew that we would get a boogaloo in real life to watch?
What? I know you smoke often, Leighton, but if you didn't, wouldn't you get the munchies? You're like, I guess, I'll buy something today. Like, oh, hey.
So speaking of boogaloos here, we do have another one to look at, which is the Sweet Baby Inc. Gamergate 2 Electric Boogaloo. That was the title I gave for this in the notes. Basically, I'm going to attempt to describe this myself instead of going to articles, and anybody here who knows better than me can correct me. Same goes with the chat. Basically, Sweet Baby Inc. was a company that was formed to sort of forward the idea that they could make games more diversive, and by doing so, it would make the games more marketable, right? Wouldn't make them offensive. No one would get mad at you, right? So it's sort of like woke insurance, is what I view it as, right? Like, hey, you pay this company, they whitewash your content or brown wash your content or yellow wash your content or whatever we're talking about. And in return, you get good media coverage by all their little writer buddies and all the people connected to their company.
Right.
And everybody makes money. The problem here, of course, being that apparently a group on Twitter, or rather a group on Steam, started basically cataloging all of the games that had been released that were involved with Sweet Baby Inc. So all of these games happened to coincide with all of the games that everybody's been complaining about and shitting on for the last few years for being woke dog shit. And so I think what people have stumbled across here is an actual progressive shitheel group that's just trying to basically bully game developers and companies out of taking any kind of risk or interesting creative decisions, which is sort of wild.
Social credit scores. That's all it is. It's just, it is. We have China has social credit scores that goes down to the individual. In this country, we have social credit scores that are at the corporate level. And as the fucking head of BlackRock said, we are here to make these changes. And if we have to force them, we force them. Okay. Does not matter.
Yes.
This is how they are doing it. This all this shit, all this DEI bullshit, it started back in the Obama regime. Okay. This is where all this came into play. All right. I mean, maybe, but they really kicked it into gear.
So,
and I will say, look, Obama is Chicago, okay? And what is Chicago the home of? Anybody?
AIDS.
Communism.
Oh.
Yeah, AIDS.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. AIDS, communism, same fucking thing. Communism, but a lot of communists in Chicago. Okay, there was just a lot of communists that were in Chicago, and that's where he's from. That shit got into his head. You look at DEI, it is communism. Okay. So it is corporate communism, but it is communism because it is ideology over profit. How, as a shareholder,
you have
a company. Here we go. The man. Thank you.
BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors. What we are doing internally is, if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay, you have to force behaviors, and if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. Behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies.
So this is sort of what you're talking about here, and I think it's important to note that basically what happens is, again, it is a mafia sort of system. I heard Vito is having some sort of journalist writer on his show today to sort of combat this narrative that that's not what's happening. But let's be perfectly honest here. We've seen under the curtain of what journalism looks like now in the United States. We saw with the Twitter files stuff, we've seen with all the operations in the 1970s and 80s and 60s and 50s and going all the way back to the 1920s, that this stuff has been happening for a long time as far as infiltration through media by the government, right? We're not saying the government's doing this. We're saying that they could be doing this, but we know that there's private entities doing this. We know that there are think tanks that are being hired to do this. And whether or not those groups have been put up by the government or not, I think is something that I certainly believe, but not everybody has to. And, one of the things I think I have here saved in the chat here that I wanted to bring up in regards to this, I want to make sure I find the right thing here. Yes, right here. So
I was just going to add
right. Oh, you're fine. I'm just bringing this tweet up. Here we go. This was Department of Homeland Security. So this is a U.S. government funded organization put out a document demanding that game companies denounce Gamergate 2. So hate, harassment, and toxic behavior have no place in games. By taking direct targeted action in a timely manner, we can mitigate further harm to talented, dedicated folks in games and help prevent additional recurrences of these harmful events. Responding to Gamergate 2. So this is a thing, right? You've got entities that are funded by the US government saying, hey, it's Gamergate 2. This is a thing. Even though really this just sort of started like a few days ago. Really, people started acting according with this whole thing. But it does feel very Gamergate-like. I mean, you've got this company that was doing exactly what these journalist groups were doing during Gamergate. It's the same thing. We're just missing the sex aspect, right? We're just mixing all the screwing going on behind scenes. But I'm sure that's happening here. Let's be perfectly clear.
So what I was going to say is like with...
Agreed. Absolute facts.
Yeah. So DEI is a form to me of technocratic fascism, where you take big tech companies, which are doing all of the work, and then you merge them. Like Mussolini said, what is fascism? It's the merger of corporate and state power. You're merging the power of big tech and the power of governments to try and determine who's most in compliant with speech and thought that you want. Now, I think this goes back way, way, way further than Obama. He did not originate this. A lot of people originated this when they found that economic Marxism was not a viable alternative, because everybody had, a TV behind me, which was relevantly sufficient, and food. So it's kind of hard to tell people to do that. For me, the issue with this is, even if you put social credit scores, this stuff's going to be impossible to track. And I know Leighton shows light and funny. I don't know if Leighton can hear me. Can you hear me, Leighton?
I can hear you.
Okay. So maybe I'm going over bounds with this because I look at everything, but Tim Pool is covering that they're trying to do an extreme version of this in Canada, which I laughed. I'm like, Trudeau can't any possible way enforce this, which is trying to push extreme speech laws on people that, we can imprison you for life. And to me, what this means is the regime is down to its last leg. Because if I cannot get you to believe any of the narratives that have been proposed, such as, the beer flu's scary, or, that, we're the mind of the world and we're doing everything's right, and I can't get people to believe what I'm saying, then I think the last thing is you criminalize speech. George Orwell famously said, if freedom of speech means anything, it means the right to tell people what they don't want to hear. And this is where they're at. This is why I say, like, when people get blackpilled and say they're winning, I seriously doubt it, because now they can't. Yeah, the UK is already doing it. The UK is beyond. I think the UK is gone. Like, the UK, you should just take that island, literally sink it. The UK is doing everything wrong. They're trying to saber rattle with Russia. They're trying to speech laws, and their birth rate is in the gutter. So it's been nice knowing the UK. And they haven't done.
Well, I think the important thing to keep in mind here, and really the basic idea of all of this, can be boiled down to the fact that if you enact hate speech laws, they are only ever going to expand, much like every other government law or bureaucratic position. It's always going to just expand. It's never going to shrink. There's never been less restrictions on gun ownership since the Second Amendment was drafted. They've just stacked more and more restrictions on top and top and top, and now we're in the position we're in now, where you can't own a decent part of most of the firearms that are out there in production because the government says you can't, or you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to do so, which shouldn't exist, right? We view those as being infractions of the Constitution. I think the same thing's true with these laws. They're just going to keep doing it bit by bit anyway until it's changed.
And let me ask you this from a logistics perspective. Let's say I am an evil globalist, and I can transform into a lizard-like reptile, if I ever find Ed Boon on a side note, I'm going to say, did Jacob Rothschild inspire that character? And he's like, yes, it did. Thank you for asking. Whoopsie. But let's say I am. How the heck do you enforce this? Do I go like, well, Kareem, I heard you made a joke about, you and Leighton, made a joke about Mossad. Is that true? I'm like, okay, is there a tweet? And I delete the tweet. And they're like, well, are you going to go around and screenshot everything and grab everybody's video? And who has the time logistically to grab everybody's videos, to grab everybody's tweets, to grab everybody's screenshots?
This is absolutely true, by the way. First one shot in the chat says, not to change the subject, but that's what scares them so much about ghost guns and DIY stuff. Yeah. So I see that absolutely in the just sort of political ecosystem. Like that becomes this big topic issue now. Ghost guns are being brought back up into the fray. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that as people are sort of across the world getting fed up with governments, they're going to start restricting that stuff more and more because, hey, if you live in a country where you already cannot have guns, but they recognize criminals are going to get guns anyway, well, the second you decide that your government is not in a good position to rule over you anymore, guess what? You're a criminal to them. So you're going to go out and get the guns, and then whether you're getting them from DIY facets or not, they need a way to control that as well. I think there's something to be said about looking into a lot of the 3D printing people who have died over the last 15 years or disappeared or been brought up on horseshit charges. There's a long list of people who the government in various countries and with various 3-letter agencies have gone after pretty fucking hard. Harder than they do people who are literal terrorists or guys who are barbecuing people in Haiti. So hey man, that should make you think.
He's just hungry. He just wants to have, hey man, he got the munchies really bad. Maybe he's partaking in the substances you like, because I spent $40 on Taco Bell one time doing that. But another interesting thing to note, I think, about all of this is that there's going to be a whole lot, if they take this to its logical end, there's going to be a whole lot more Duncan Lemps. And I think my argument for secession now is even better, because it's like, hey, do you want to say what you want to be able to say, like basic human stuff? Like, yes. Okay, well, Rainbow, as I call him, Rainbow Boy or Castro, is not letting you say the stuff that you want to say, which is basic human right. Need the provinces, as they call them in Canada, need to break off, because to me this is the last refuge of tyrants. Well, they have nothing left. I don't think they have anything left. They can't scare you with a virus. They can't scare you with a foreign entity. Oh my God, help! There's big scary thing. They can't scare you in Europe with Putin. They can't scare you here with some China or North Korea or whatever. So they have to say, okay, fine. What are you gonna do? Harry Wells, who runs Arizona, you may know him, Leighton. He said he knew you. He's a good guy.
Yes.
But it was recently, he showed me like the FBI made a list, and they keep putting, and it's nothing new. I'm sure I'm on a bunch of lists, but the issue isn't the list. They don't really, Dave Smith made a good point. They don't really believe that you're dangerous. They just want you and other people to believe oh my God, this libertarians are scary. They're this, they're that. They're really framing.
Well, I mean, that's what they did to the Boog Boys. It's the same thing they did to individual facets. So now they can target it on a larger scale. So now they, this is what I'm talking about when I say this stuff only grows. This is just all the same thing. It starts as something small, and then eventually they can broaden it and broaden it and broaden it until eventually it's not this one little group of libertarians who are protesting or doing something. It's the entire movement that is just being branded as this thing. By the way, they'll do the same thing to Democrat and Republicans eventually if one group gets in power too long. And I think we've seen that before too. So it's all horseshit. I mean, it's all fake reality stuff. How much of it do you think is real, kind of thing?
Yeah. I'm going to laugh when Justin Trudeau can't enforce it. It's like, you said something bad. Like, no, I didn't. Like, yes, you did. Come on. You said something bad about the government. So to me, this is the last refuge of tyrants. I think we're winning. I think they're literally scared. And I think that's why the only problem I have is they're going to extreme lengths now. This is like the big thing where they're trying.
I'd argue you do not see these reactions from a healthy deep state. You see these actions from a deep state that is struggling to keep control of everything.
Good point.
And the only problem is now the deep state, in my opinion, with elbow macaroni of France and friends is like, oh, first of all, I don't understand the tactic of going on Twitter and saying Putin will fight our special forces, but it's like, okay, we have nothing left. What are we going to do? Criminalize speech and threaten a nuclear power? Like, okay, wow, that sounds like such a good idea. It's like, at what point do you, I know people don't give up power, but at what point do they just, give this up? At what point can they not hold this? Because if the narrative is gone, Larkin Rose makes a good point. What do you do to the state? You don't have to do anything to the state. You just have to lose. It just has to lose its legitimacy. Okay. Well, once people say it has no legitimacy,
then you need a couple opportunistic cannibals.
I'm down for that. Barbecue's a good What's wrong?
No, Barbecue is definitely not a good dude. I want Barbecue to get a 45 put through the back of his head. I don't. All of the people involved in that shit show are horrible individuals. The leader of the country that was taken out of power, the guy who took power, all the people who helped, they're all dumb. All of them. In the words of Sam Kinison, fucking move. I do not care anymore.
Okay.
I'm not giving anybody my sympathies anymore.
I am defending.
They don't deserve it.
Wait. Here's the thing. And the worst, because you're always going for the praxeological thing, like, oh well, it's fine if they join BRICS or NATO because they're in the position. I'm gonna actually disagree with you and say, look, if the U.S. destabilized my country and things are going crazy, I'd be like, Armed Ape, give me an AR-15 and an idiocracy. Like, you suck.
Hey, Kareem, are you going to make the argument to me that it was the United States who first destabilized Haiti?
Yes. The Clinton crime family. Not maybe
So
first.
are you saying, okay, no. Before Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were even sperm stains inside their fucking parents' father's balls. Okay, let me be clear. Before any of them were in politics, Haiti was already fucked.
Haiti was fucked from its inception, okay?
Yeah,
yes,
remember,
this is what I'm trying to explain.
Yeah, this is the French, okay? Let me now take a shot at the French, okay? You look around the world at former French colonies, and they're not so fucking great, okay? They because the French, when the French leave, they leave. They're like, okay, we're out, and they leave. All they leave behind is the fucking language, okay? That's it. How do we run the government? Well, figure it out. How does this work? Well, figure it out. Well,
so yeah, okay.
That's what they do with Haiti. Fuck off, and you're on your own, brothers.
Okay, if we go back, yes, I'll agree the French screwed things up. But if we go to recent times, I would argue they were having a recovery, and then the Clinton crime family did stuff. Like the people who have said this.
You're right there, but I just don't think it's entirely. There are so many countries with Haiti's situation on its hands. It's not independently our fault. It's not independently the British or the French.
But let me give you a crazy argument that Dr. Leeson, who's an Austrian, has said. He has said, whether you want to agree with this or not, in regards to Somalia, in regards to third world countries, they would be better off in like the Democratic Republic of Congo. Pick a country out of a hat, more than likely. If it's not...
This is literally the Sam Kinison argument.
Fine.
This is literally fucking move. Yes, I understand what you're saying. The problem is it's logistically a shit show. This is what we're seeing happen in Gaza right now. You got a bunch of people...
It's different. That's completely different.
It is.
Yeah, that is a religious war. This is just insanity. There are 11 million people.
Not a religious war.
Fucking Haiti. Good luck evacuating that many people. That is, good luck.
I'm telling you that I know this sounds crazy. look, Armed Ape is old enough to remember this. If you remember, I will.
In 1925.
1925. Okay, look, I'll make. I don't know Sam Kennison, but I'll make the argument, and then I'll come fight you in Alaska if you have a problem with it. Listen. After Mohammed Said Bari of Somalia was deposed, warlords fought each other exactly as happening now. It was bad for a few years. Then warlords checked each other's power. Maybe barbecue gets checked by pepperoni, gets checked by potato salad, gets checked by cucumber. And then they all decide, hey, we don't want to fight each other because this guy could kill you. So they come up with some kind of customary law. And then you'll see the homicide rate go from here to here to here. The problem is the newspapers won't say, oh, they have functioning anarchy, because that hurts the mainstream narrative. Oh, wait, you're telling me primitive people can get along if they make agreements without having to utilize government? Maybe we could do that. No, they're savages. Look at those Somalis. So my argument is this. If you give barbecue competition, it's not Disneyland. It's not Ancapistan.
Okay, but if the competition for barbecue is a guy who can eat more people in a single day, it's not much of a competition.
But here's the thing.
There is no good person here. There's no Ron Paul in Haiti. Okay,
but Leighton, I'm not saying there is no Ron Paul in Haiti. The point isn't that there's a Ron Paul. There's a point where somebody's going to say, hey, eating people is bad for our GDP because eating people just equals customers. So instead of saying let's eat people,
you know how they make. Do you understand? This is I'm not having a free market argument about eating people. If they're eating people, burn them with fire for all I care. Napalm them from the air. I do not care anymore.
No. Give barbecue legitimate competition. That's what needs to happen. It's a bad situation.
Competition with giant barbecue grills.
Not
if you fall into the argument you're making is competition for this guy at this point is just a better warlord. That's all you'll get. There is no competition for somebody like this. He has military control of an area. If you want competition, is you're talking about somebody who's genocidal. You'd be bringing in a Nazi-esque figure.
No,
that's who the competition to him would be.
Listen to me. Al Capone blew people up. That's not very, much better than eating people. I mean, you can pick your fatality like Mortal Kombat on your controller, but Al Capone blew people up. Then Bugs Moran came in. Then you had the Jewish mafia. Then things settled down. Why? Not because anybody found safe. They didn't find
nothing settled down during the Jewish mafia's time. I know that for a fact. It just went very much hush hush because they paid the right people off. And this is the problem. For the record, Al Capone was taken out by the federal government because he threatened their monopoly. That's what happened. So what I'm saying is there is no world where you can apply Western thought experiments, politics to the world of Haiti, because the world they are in is in a world where if you want to compete against the person who has now assumed power there, right? Somebody tried to do it the bureaucratic way. That's the guy who just got booted out. Now there's a guy in there who was a warlord who's in charge. Now, you want to replace that guy with somebody. There is no peaceful way to do that. You're either going to need I'm not saying you're saying this. I'm saying this is the fact. If you want to replace that person with somebody different, either you're going to send military people in, or you're going to allow another warlord in that area to do the job that needs done. Another warlord in that, right? So if you agree to what I just said, nodding your head yes, that means signing off on somebody coming in, being more brutal than him, being more assertive than him, and doing more damage than him.
I'm not saying that's a given. I'm saying, look, okay. Let's just take this. Forget warlords. Let's just take this. Let's say there's a hot chick in the room right now, and I want
they'd eat her. They'd fuck her, but they'd eat her after. Trust me.
Okay, let's say we're at the convention and there's a hot chick, and libertarians don't see that because we're all autistic.
They'd autistically message each other about her and then not talking to her.
But I hate to say it, but like if some dude like throws some game down, and then other dudes who are libertarians are like, ooh, hot chick, do want date, and they keep hitting on her. Well, what establishes a power equilibrium?
The problem with your analogy is nobody in that group of libertarians is trying to eat each other. Okay,
they are.
My point.
The
levels of violence, the levels of human interaction have been changed. If the person who has risen to power and taken control of an entire nation, entire country or region, is a dude who is literally known for eating humans and for being a warlord who puts in warlord tactics, in order to displace that person, historically, history tells us you're going to either need a very great large force, which doesn't exist, or you're going to need a group of people or a person who is willing to do equal or worse damage or force than that man.
It doesn't have to be equal. It just has to be competition. They have to be. Look, I'm telling you, I know for a fact, based on history.
Okay, somebody's getting a phone call. Who is that?
Sorry.
That's not me.
Talk up my Telegram.
Green's been called by the Mossad.
Yeah. No.
Okay, listen. We're gonna freeze this. We can have an Africa's retarded argument on Twitter or something. We'll put up
Dr. Leeson's work. And I send you Dr. Leeson's work, and I'll drop it and just watch it.
I'll send you Dr. Seuss's work, and we'll see who shakes out better.
God damn it, Leighton. If you have warlords who have competition, like in feudal Japan, like in China,
all right, guys,
each other's power.
We're going to do something a little different here now. We're going to watch.
Lost all credibility. If Michael Heiss and Jack Lloyd see this, they're going to think.
Wait, quick. Hold on, real quick. I want to give shout out to Terribly Tactical, who just popped in. Hey, TC, brother, how you doing?
Woo!
Terribly Tactical. He followed me on Twitter. Cool guy.
Yes, he is cool. Now, real quick, let me just say that as a non-libertarian, to sit here and watch the interactions between two members of the Libertarian Party, I kind of feel a little like Jane Goodall right now, right? I'm out here in the jungle with the fucking Libertarian Party. I'm observing everything. I'm a vote. How quality?
This is Outlaw Apes, I suppose, you know.
Go to LP Mises Caucus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm going to have to actually do that one year. I'm dying to fucking get in there and see what really is kicking off. I bet there are some discussions going on in there that are fucking levels above anything I ever thought possible, man.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
And
it's great sometimes. I love having these sort of arguments because I think some of it's actually decent because it's more of actually like, you know, it's happening. So it's something that's actually going on. But yeah, I some of the arguments I get in are pure just autism. it's just pure autism.
Talked to Lofka one day. He's like, Kareem, I need to take you aside. Like, libertarians have to stop running in state houses and say, let's legalize like black tar substances or meth or something. He's like, stop being super autistic. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, they called me up and said, like, who's your favorite Austrian economist? He's like, stop doing some of this. Just be like, chill. Just be like, hey man, what's up? And so like, hey, have you read Rothbard, bro? Like, woo! Yeah, let's talk about economics. I'm like, what the fuck?
I find that interesting. Even in the quote unquote Libertarian Party, there is purity testing going on. That's great. That's it doesn't matter what the party is. There's always going to be a purity test waiting for you at some point.
Are you on X, Twitter?
Yes.
Okay, so we've been having a big debate, which you can get into. Basically what it boils down to is like me, Agaris, antagonist Hanny, some other people who we disagree on stuff too. We have our own arguments, Jack Lloyd and all them. I've been arguing with like the Dave Smith faction of that. Like, hey, it doesn't matter if you have open or closed borders. It matters if you have the government destabilize a region and then incentivize people to come over. That's what causes illegal immigration. Changing a configuration.
I'm not screaming about this for another hour, and I will not let this debauchery stand. We are
tag me into the conversation.
The next topic.
I'll do whatever I want. Anarchy.
Matt Jarbo, this tard.
Oh Jesus! Here we go into the fire.
Okay, so we're gonna react to this stuff. This is definitely gonna be. I'm gonna clip this up, but We got Matt Jarbo puts this tweet up here. It says, Eric July amassed a remarkable amount of funds as a comic book creator and publisher. He has an impressive loyal fan base and network. But now this dog shit makes Madam Web look like Oppenheimer. I've seen porn parodies with just as much budget. I have a better story and placing. Now, it's the second photo he has here. Heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a great point. Matt Jarbo knows his audience. I'll give him that. Because he knows no one likes him, but he's like, I'm still right, motherfuckers.
100%. 100%.
So let's talk about this, and we are going to watch this godforsaken trailer because I feel like I would be shaming my fans if I didn't react to this dog shit. And
is this guy another Ian Miles Chong? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
No.
Eric July, yes, sure.
No.
Other guy.
Ian is.
Oh, Matt Jarbo. Yeah. Matt Jarbo is just. He's become synonymous on YouTube with just being sort of a weak cuck, I suppose.
Yes, exactly. Not like Ian. Ian is his own fucking category. I don't even know how to describe him at this point, but I still follow him. But
the derp is strong with this one.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, and with Matt too, 100%. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
But this trailer you're about to view, I would like to apologize to the audience for what we're about to put you through.
Okay, so let's before I hit play on this, let's go with some, because I have not seen this. I've seen a couple clips on I've seen a couple clips on YouTube, but that's it. Or a couple clips on Twitter, but that's it. And I didn't watch anybody else reacting to it because I wanted to sort of save it.
I might get kicked out for this, but if this was Haiti, he'd be being eaten alive. So that would get the weak men out there.
100%.
Oh shit!
Natural selection time.
What I think is what I want to say before I hit play on this is Yaira. The first copy of Yaira just went up for sale for Eric July. It gets up to $1 million. Everybody's online gloating, even though everybody on my side of the internet all predicted that it would break that pretty quick. I think I literally said on my channel it would be somewhere in the 1 day to 2 day range. So right on schedule. Chris Bacon has been doing great numbers on that stuff. I'd suggest checking out the Reddit threads he does, as well as his YouTube channel, which is a great watch. Who he breaks down the actual numbers, the sales, the available copies of these comic books as this stuff's been happening. And he got his own puppet, so that's cool. I haven't been made into a puppet yet. Maybe it's because there's too much felt. I'm assuming there's a lot of felt that would be involved in making a puppet of me.
I can make you a
puppet.
puppet.
To do something. I need to do something in Comicsgate to get enough attention to get a puppet. If chat has any ideas, let me know.
You know how you get a
nude somewhere? Or,
you get to the top of it. Here's how you get a puppet. You get to a top of a major corporation, then you get lobbyists, then you send them to a congressman's office, and then you can buy Lindsey Graham or Cotton.
We were thinking something a little lower budget.
Motherfucker. All right.
Let's wait. Hold on. Before stop. You have to put on closed captioning. Trust me on this. Okay. If you think I'm hard to understand, you are going to find out on this video for sure. Closed captioning.
Okay, the other thing I notice immediately as we hit play that I'll talk about is, did he just did a Marvel logo? Like,
yeah, where's the video?
He just copied like the Marvel screen where they flash all the comic book shit on the text. Like, that's the old, like, I remember that being like kind of an Avengers Marvel movie thing. I don't know. That's stupid. Like this thing right here where he's flashing all the like. Kareem, if you don't start typing, I'm going to kick you from the stream. I swear to God.
I'm not going to respond.
This is going to be tough. I've trained my body to do things that people like me shouldn't be able to do. But unfortunately for me, flying ain't one of them.
Don't follow me.
So I'm assuming this is ISOM.
All I see is the original screen. You hit play and nothing is played for me so far. How about chat? Has anything played for the chat? Because I see the original white dots on the screen when you were at the beginning. Nothing on my end played.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't know what's happening then because it says I'm sharing. So let me.
You were sharing.
Let me.
It's just that the
let me
video,
leave the studio and come back. I'm hoping it's my internet. Just give me one second.
Okay. Possibility.
Could be. Hi, Armed Ape. Are you armed?
Yes, I'm a little too warm actually. I got the room heated up a little. I think I did too much. Now I'm wearing this jacket. Starting to sweat balls. Oh Jesus!
Wait,
now I just there we go. Okay.
Okay. Hopefully this now works properly. I'm sorry, guys. Much apologies.
Yeah, how dare you? And you didn't even say hi to JC.
Hi, JC. Okay. Can you see this now?
He's on Alaskan internet.
Yes, that's playing now. Yes.
Okay.
Volume though. No volume, but we need the volume. Beautiful. Oh, the Saska sisters.
Twisted Twins. I mean, dude, the insanity of this is their name. The name of their company is Twisted Twins. You put this at the intro of your thing after defending these two Satanists as a Christian man. It's the biggest pussy cuck shit I've ever heard of in my life. It's just absolutely beyond cuckoldry.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be tough. I've trained my body to do things that people like me shouldn't be able to do. But unfortunately for me, flying ain't one of them.
The caption said aid. I want to point that out.
Yes.
What's funny here is, so he's basically poking fun at the fact that people made fun of him not giving out the powers of these people beforehand and saying that people kept asking whether or not ISOM could fly. The reason everybody was asking whether or not ISOM could fly was because the art was so horrible you couldn't tell. Because there were multiple pieces of art that were released that looked like the character was flying, when in fact they were just standing and the artist is dumb and uses 3D assetted backgrounds, so you can't tell where the character's positioned because everybody making the art was stupid. At least the people making that art were stupid. So there's just, I just don't get it. It's just stupid, just dumb.
Don't follow me.
Oh, this is a horrible accent.
Biologist and archaeologist who we feel is going to be an undeniable asset here at Projexus. Won't you please join me in welcoming her to our...
I'm going to back this up. Did he start that sentence with biologist and there was no...
Biologist and...
He did. That is such a... Dude, I don't know if anybody else has this pet peeve. Biologist and archaeologist. He doesn't say this is a, or this is a, or this is, right? It's just like biologist and archaeologist. They just start the sentence in the middle of it. I hate that so much.
Feel is going to be an undeniable asset here at Projexus. Won't you please join?
This is all throughout this from the clips I've seen on Twitter, but it's just lens flare everywhere. They're using the Zack Snyder ideology of as long as there's a light somewhere on screen to make it look like it's professional, it's professional. This all looks like B-movie, like schlocky, like worse than B-movie, right? It looks like a sci-fi, like low-budget set.
Yes, well, I mean, look who made it, okay? That's kind of where they're coming from. And another thing, on the biologist and whatever the fuck the other one, psychologist, whatever. No, archaeologist. That is only in keeping with the true spirit of the book. Because if you read the first book, it's like as soon as you open it, you're like, oh my God, I walked into a movie halfway through. What the hell is going on? Through two books, that's what you get. You don't have a clue through two books who is who, What can they do? What the hell is going on? You like walk into a movie and it's 2/4 of the way over, and you're like, oh, why am I here? So it's it stands to reason that they will do this. That is the way he
Join
is.
me in welcoming her to our team, Dr. Sally Rodell.
Okay. Oh, stop.
Okay.
Look at these. Okay, she is a tall drink of water. This one, okay. She's a fucking good-looking woman. This one, high quality. If you hear her normal voice, she speaks a perfect English. Okay, I don't think she is from where they pretend she's from. They get her to do an accent, and this is why I said put on the closed captioning, because you're not going to understand half of what the hell she's saying. Continue.
Adopt or die.
Secure the area until Alpha Book can arrive.
It is the truest law of the earth. Very few things have the ability.
Holy fucking shit! What is that?
I told
you.
you.
Czech or Russian or
It could
Asian
be
or
Czech.
what?
It could be
what
Russian. It could be fucking Finland. I'm telling you,
dude.
it could be the third fucking Reich. I don't know, man.
This is so confusing. By the way, Kareem, you're muted and stuff. I don't know if you know that. I'm just letting you know.
To survive the test of
Yes.
time. Though we may not be around to see them to their fullest fruition, what we struggle to create now will be the triumphant echoes from the past.
Alpha Corps will be here in 5 minutes. Hold the line.
5 minutes?
God, just like that right there, like this just awkward dialogue shoehorned in here of her, and then the shit accent. The accent makes it so bad.
5 minutes?
5 minutes. it's like Lilo and Stitch. It's like Lilo and Stitch. Oh, Irish too. This is a great call out.
Thanks for the heads up.
Thanks
Get
for
the
the
fuck out of
heads
my
up.
way.
What the? So that's like a German way of saying that, but
I was here. I lived.
if this is supposed to be German, it is way off.
I'm still here. I'm on you.
So I'm assuming they spent all their money
On
for
this
the
shot.
budget of the production of this thing on this right
shot.
here. Because that doesn't look specifically horrible. Like if I saw this in a CW show, I would be like, oh, that's a CW show. Right? Like this right here. This is fine, like Supernatural sort of esque. You know, I can get that. But everything else in this screams, I made this for $5,000 in a shopping mall that I rented out for the evening. Like, it doesn't.
Sweet dreams, children. It is that struggle that is the affliction of creation. I would like to thank
The accent is so bad, and also this dialogue makes no sense. It's just gibberish.
That is the affliction of creation. I would like to thank Mr. Eusebio for allowing me the opportunity to discover and create alongside my esteemed colleagues at Projexus. Thank you.
Real original name, Projexus.
Yeah, more like projection.
Projection, horseshit. Yeah.
An archaeologist? It's a bit archaic, isn't it? She's well studied, Jerry.
This guy has a cowboy hat and a big belt buckle, so you know where he's
That's
from.
not what I was saying. It's just an unusual area of expertise to pair with biology.
Tell me he's got
Dr.
an
Rodell,
accent.
From my understanding, is an unusual woman. Don't be threatened, Jerry. She's on our side. Congratulations.
It's just so, like, you can tell whoever they hired to act all of this out is attempting to act.
Yes.
But they've been given dog shit dialogue.
Yes.
They've been given a dog shit set.
Yes.
And they've been given a dog shit character. So they're just stuck in a bad position. Now, I don't know who they hired to do the acting stuff, but they're trying. They're just not good because of the position they've been put in.
Yes, giving her the duty, the direction to say, okay, you're going to give me high quality accent, okay? As someone who knows something about terrible fucking accents, I have to say, this one is truly a fucking A-level garbage accent, okay? As we have been sitting here saying, is this German? Is it Czech? Is it Russian? Maybe it is a Polish. And then maybe it's Irish, as First Shot said. Well, it sounds a little Irish. I mean, Jesus Christ, she is a woman of the world, okay? I give to you the blonde-haired representative from the United Nations. She will fucking speak in a language that everyone can easily understand.
Right.
Congratulations. Photo?
The video's still playing and everything?
Yeah, it was playing.
Okay.
Kind of choppy now, but what's that, man? She's good looking.
Well, what's funny is she's not bad looking, but if you
Not at
see
all.
the art, because they draw the stupid character in 30 different styles,
yes,
they have drawings of her with this giant, looks like she's 65 pounds overweight. They've got drawings of her where she's skinnier than she is here. So there's no consistency in the artwork. This is one of the issues I had with ISOM stuff. And all the marketing and all that stuff, it's all inconsistent. And so you have no way of knowing whether or not the character is actually going to look like that in a live action or in the comic book or in the next comic book, or because they're all different. And Kanan White, I mean, like Kanan, from my understanding, is a great artist and does great work. But like some of the stuff I see is just bad. It's just objectively bad.
You took that like a chump. Were you trying to knock me out? No.
Oh, this is the worst scene. This is the one
by
I
far
saw
the
on
worst
Twitter.
scene.
So
You took that like a chump.
It almost sounds 80 yard, if you know what that means, like where they add the audio in after the fact. Like it sounds like it's added in post, like the audio is too clean, if
Yeah,
that
they
makes
dubbed it.
sense. But yeah, because they either dubbed it like a music video or they
Right.
picked it up off of like a mic that's right next to them, which isn't really how action movies and things do that, because it's not what you want. You want a boom, or you want something along those lines that are going to
Correct.
give you more control over how far their voice is coming from. And then on top of it, it's just cringy the way they're standing, and it's just open. Like, again, this is a filmmaking thing, but when you have all
Well,
this
also-
open space behind them, it doesn't
Yeah.
do anything for the story. So none of this brick behind us tells us where we are. None of it tells us anything other than the blood being there. So cutting from the blood to a close-up of her face is a better idea. But they didn't do a close-up here, right? You've got her in the foreground. You've got all this fucking shit that no one cares about in the foreground. It looks exactly like their comic panels, which is sort of hilarious. It's as bad as what they produced on paper.
You took that like a chump. Were you trying to knock me out? No. It was meant to be a death blow.
Yeah, you hear that? You fucking hear that? Death blow.
No. It was meant to be a death blow.
Man,
You took that like a
man.
chump. Were you trying to knock me out? No. It was meant to be a death blow. Me out?
Okay, that
No.
is
It
an
was meant
attempted
to be a
Russian.
death blow.
I don't know if it's...
It was meant to be a death blow.
That is an attempt.
It was
I'm telling
meant
you
to
right
be a
now,
death
listen,
blow.
as I said.
I just want
as
to
an
play it
expert
over
on
and over
terrible
again.
accents, that is fucking Russian she's attempting. But now
Yeah,
I'm
it's
thinking the
gotta be.
character is supposed to be Russian. I think. Just on that one line, I would say she's supposed to be Russian. Yeah.
If it is, then that accent makes no sense, because she's a Dutch, Irish, Russian, Iranian, Israeli, American. This is the character, guys. And taking test tube baby to a whole new meaning.
Death blow.
Now we're gonna get the cheesy, you know.
Okay, now look, stop. Look how much time is left. This is all credits.
This is all credits.
This is all credits. With
Holy
one line.
shit.
Yeah.
One line credit to be. Holy
a
shit.
minute and a half of fucking credits for
I
one
feel
3.5 minutes
bad
of video.
I feel bad for whoever produced Joe Gold. There you go. Joe Gold sucks, whoever that is. Don't hire him to produce your stuff, because if it looks like that, I'm worried. Yeah, I mean, that is what I find amazing, and what I've seen people make this point on Twitter. Like, it's not like Eric July raised a little bit of money, right? It's not like this was made with 50 grand or 20 grand or 30 grand. Eric July raised all this money supposedly to make things like this. And so the thing he makes that he comes out with is not only cringe inducing as all hell, but looks like it was made as like a college like project. Like make a superhero short film in a day, like it looks like you used filter packs and audio packs and stuff that you can get from an editing library. I don't like that. I don't like the acting in it, and it's not their fault. Again, I want to be clear. I'm not like throwing shade at the actors. I think they were given dog shit dialogue and a dog shit set, and so there's not much you can do unless you have good production going into what they're trying to make. And it just, I don't think you're going to get that from Eric July.
It's not there. Look, if the goal was to make Ed Wood look competent, then congratulations, you have done it. You have made Ed Wood look like a fucking competent filmmaker. If the goal is to sell fucking comic books, I don't think you may have missed the mark a little. What I don't understand is why did they not do this as animation? You're selling a comic book, not a movie.
So this
You're
is my
selling
theory.
a TV show.
I think he got the last animation he put out torn apart so bad because the company he went to and all the people he hired to do it, that he decided this was his way out. Basically, well, I won't do another animation because people didn't like it. Or maybe, right, this is another thing, maybe he did already get a contract for an animated series or an animated show, in which case he can't release anything more animated because that's going to be under contract. So there could be a whole bunch of things that are going into play there, but I think it's very telling that he did not put out an animated clip and chose to do this. It either means he's already made some kind of deal behind the scenes, or it means he's running from the criticism on him using these Malaysian or buttfuck Brazilian or wherever the hell they were from artists to create the animated stuff.
Yeah, but you have to admit, that animation was better than this.
Oh, it was. Yeah, so it was way less cringe-inducing than this was. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's using real people. I mean, you're seeing actual people. You can't, like, the Rippaverse fans who are watching this and lauding this trailer, let me be clear, they are all lying to themselves. If you can watch that accent and that character doing that and think it's serious or it looks good, you're lying to yourself. Like, just period. I don't believe you. I think you're a liar, because that was just bad.
Here's the thing.
There's no. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say this. At least, because here we got to start somewhere. I get he raised over $1 million because I saw that. I just saw that on Facebook. I get the trailer is not great. Hollywood's been putting out good-looking stuff that has evil subliminal messaging for a while. Yes. So is Daily Wire, in my opinion. Daily Wire is saying we're the counterculture, but what are they really doing? In my opinion, Conservative Inc. is saying we're fighting back. But how are you fighting back? You're kind of creating another model that's statist, but, has a little bit of a right flavor. I like the fact
this is the argument they make, is that they're going to create a parallel economy. And that the parallel economy will set you free. The problem with this whole thing is that the parallel economy is made up of a bunch of people creating dog shit products that don't actually do anything or aren't good. And the fan bases who are eating them up are not eating them up off of the basis of the quality. They're eating it up off the basis of the ideology. And that's just going to make for bad media. Like, you don't get good art. You don't get good culture from everybody patting each other on the head and saying, good job, bud. Like, that's just not going to work.
Okay, here's I know you're not going to agree with this. But I think you need to make a whole lot of bad stuff.
Yes.
Before you get somewhere like Hollywood, if you look at the old stuff, was not great. I do think you need to make some stuff that is going to be less than
I
yeah.
100% agree with you there. I think he's like, there's not a line here. I want to make this clear. Eric July is allowed to make a bad trailer. And it's
100%.
allowed to be bad until he can make it good. And maybe in a year or two, when he's worked at things and he puts out a trailer, I'll watch it and go, wow, that was actually really decent.
Yeah.
But
so let him.
I'm still going to watch the stuff that fails and laugh at it and critique it. Like,
I'm laughing at it, but I'm also saying at the same time, look, an ANCAP's making something. This is someone on my team. People ask me why. It's kind of weird. People ask me why I was so ecstatic Jack Dorsey posted Anatomy of the State. Because I work in tech. Tech is very, very not leftist, not ANCOM, very liberal dominated. So it's like people are sitting there like, well, Hillary Clinton could do. I'm like, oh my God. Or they're like, well, Biden could, or, the Democrats could. And I'm like, or, hey, we're really excited that so-and-so is getting the 50th from the establishment, and I'm sitting there like, don't say anything. I know you want to say so. Like, I met one other libertarian who was drunk, and they weren't even an ANCAP. So for me, even though Jack Dorsey does a not less than ideal job of tweeting out a book I like, there's another ANCAP in tech. There's another ANCAP in tech. There's another one of us. Hey, it's kind of like, hey, movie producers. I bet you there's some movie producers who are like, kind of like Rand Paul, but if I tell my director, he'll fire me because he's a nut. And James Cameron thinks testosterone's a poison, and testosterone's the only way that James Cameron exists, because a dude with that found his mom, unfortunately, and went boop. And to have good swimming thingies, you need good testosterone. So I guarantee you there's probably a bunch of libertarians in Hollywood who are like, help me. The conservatives are nuts. Gina Corona's nuts. And the liberals are nuts. Wait, Eric July.
even Mike Partika was laughing at it hard. That's fucking hilarious.
Funny. It was
if even Mike is clowning on your trailer, you've got problems. So no, I mean, like, I agree with you. I think he's got lots of room to grow and all that stuff. And that's the same thing I said about the comic books. The problem is he has released a couple comic books at this point, right? He's released 2 copies of ISOM. He's released
now 4.
Yeah, right, exactly. So he's had some room to get stuff under control in the comic book space, and I haven't seen much real gross improvement. Like, I mean, the stuff is better when he goes to another writer or another person, but the stuff he's put out hasn't grown, which I think is sort of the issue. But I do agree it's something that over time he could get better at. But I think at the same time, he's burned so many goddamn bridges in the process of doing what he's done now. I don't know that he has a way of turning back a lot of those people into fans or people.
Well, I mean, look, the thing with him, I think there are 2 things. Okay. Number one is the fact that his first book made $3.7 million. Okay. $3.7 million for a book. All right. That takes a head that's this big, makes it this fucking big. Okay. The second problem is that he's never good at taking criticism, ever. Even before, like, you just cannot. To him, there is good faith criticism and bad faith criticism. To most artists and creators, that is just criticism, okay? It's either valid or invalid, all right? Doesn't matter the motive behind it. Is what they're saying correct? To him, like, this whole fucking thing kicked off with fucking Dick Masterson, okay? This is where it all kicked off, with him reviewing this book and fucking tearing it apart. But he tore it apart not in a vindictive way. He tore it apart in a realistic way. And that, he could not abide by that. And that kicked off a whole chain of events to where now, what used to be the geekdom against Hollywood is now the geekdom against Hollywood and itself. I mean, it has gone from an external war to an internal war. I think mainly because the geekdom has been winning the war against Hollywood. They just have, all right? And you can tell by the fucking box office disasters that have been pouring out one after another that we're winning, okay? But they cannot handle success. So when your whole business model
Success brings out the grifters.
Yeah, when your whole
You get to
business
see
model,
who was really into it for the actual win, or who was into it for the money and the super chats and the responses.
Yeah, when your business model is fucking tearing shit apart, and if Hollywood starts to get its act together, you're not going to have much to tear apart from them. Where do you go next? Got to feed the business model. How are you going to make your money? You made your money shitting on lots of stuff. Well, now it's time to look inside and start shitting on each other. It's just the natural flow of things. You gotta have a tough fucking skin, okay? To get on a camera and give your opinion on anything, you better have a tough fucking skin. Cause someone somewhere is gonna be like, fuck this guy, he don't know what he's talking about. And you're gonna get caught with a lot of shit, okay? We are seeing this now with some fucking gay ops that have been going on recently that I don't know if we're gonna bring up or not, but there's been some really sus shit going on lately that even I've been like, fuck this, but
at the end of the show here, since we'll close it out here pretty soon because we're through most of our topics, what I want to talk, I will bring up briefly. So I put out a video sort of covering some of this drama. Basically, creator Katie, who I've been on stream with, and will continue to be on stream with, and be back on her show soon as she decides to do it. Basically had some people who are sort of what I would call orbiters of the like comic community, indie comic community, a bunch of like, your Kiwi Farm forum type people.
The purity testers.
Yes. Basically dug up a bunch of stuff about Katie and stuff. She was a member of like a Facebook group that talked about a couple anime shows and mangas and things. And basically tried to turn it into like, hey, look at this degenerate, calling her some pretty horrible things. And one of the things I make really apparent in my video, which is the whole back half of it, which people should go watch, is the issue of Yellow Flash. So one of the people who decided to comment on this was Yellow Flash, and he went after Katie pretty hard. The problem with that is that with some pretty light searching on Yellow Flash's Twitter and his YouTube channel, I found out that this guy is a self-avowed gigantic fan of a show called Redo of Healer, which features, I would argue, worse things than anything Katie was alleged to have been involved in. And so I find it hilarious now that Yellow Flash, this guy who's admitted to being a fan of this, is now going to go on stream with a bunch of people who will use the argument, much like he will on Twitter, that people are getting in bed with these degenerate people and, oh, you can't do that and don't communicate with them. But you're one of these people and you're on stream with a bunch of people who don't care that you're one of those people, right? Eric July is on your streams. He doesn't care that you're a Redo of Healer fan. Why is that? Why doesn't he care about the things that you're into, the things that you like in your own personal life, the things that you do at home when you're sitting on the couch alone and flip on the television? That shit, I think people need to really take into account, because if Yellow Flash wants to play that game, I think he should realize that you don't look very fucking clean from people over here.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, to quote Goodfellas, okay, when it comes to Yellow Flash and those guys, okay, Yellow Flash is a friend of ours, okay? As they say in the mob, he is a friend of ours, okay? So whatever he is doing, no problem, long as we get our cut, he's good to go. Doesn't matter what the fuck he's watching. Anybody else, the knives are out. This is what I'm talking about. This is the bullshit that is going on now that is just ridiculous. I will say this. Let me just cap it with this. Stay away from anime, okay? Nothing good comes from anime. Yes. That's all I will say.
I say that in my video, damn it. I find that I had to Google all of this stuff because the names and shit that everybody's mentioning, I didn't know what Redo of Healer was. I didn't know what Inuyasha was or any of these stupid names that now I know because I had to make that video. Manga and pretty much all of Japanese cultural media is dog shit degenerate stuff. Even the stuff that everybody says is super okay and fine and dandy. It's all degenerate. I don't want nothing to do with it. And on top of it, I'm supposed...
Wait, stop here. You know, we just lost the legend in Dragon Ball Z, man, and you're going off. I'm gonna be big sad. Leighton,
it was so. Oh my God, he froze. Okay, look what you did to him. He froze.
yeah, I defeated him because there is
the Mossad's trying to take me out.
There is good Cowboy Bebop. There's Inuyasha's decent. There's Outlaw Star. Hey, we just lost
Inuyasha
from DBC, man. We just lost DBC.
So okay, Kareem,
you just hit the nail on the head.
You don't know the story here, but Inuyasha is the thing that they attacked her for being a fan of.
Yes.
She ran a group where they talked about Inuyasha, which was mostly like these, you know, I would say, you know, mom type people, right? So you could think of it like a Twilight fan club would exist. These people are on this Facebook group talking about this shit. So you've got, she never wrote any of these, by the way. Everybody's saying she did. She didn't. And there's never been any proof of her writing them shown. She did not write any fan fiction, but other people in the group were writing fan fiction and sharing it back and forth. Some of the stuff was sexual in nature. That is what it is. That's what fan fiction is most of the time. And especially when you're dealing with a bunch of women who are in that sort of Twilight watching age bracket. So all of this shit makes perfect sense to me. It looks logical. It's like my mom was a fan of soap operas, right? When I was older, she was obsessed with a show called Desperate Housewives. So these are things that women get obsessed with, and they talk about them all the time. You know, so that's basically what they got mad at her about, was fan art and fan fictions tied to Inuyasha. And
her specifically
at the same
for
time,
fan art.
Yes. At the same time, one of the guys getting mad about it is a fucking furry, and the other person getting mad about it is, a fucking Redo of Healer fan. And I'm like, none of you guys should be throwing stones, motherfuckers. You're all in glass houses.
Wait. Who is the furry?
Wiggle. Fucking CG Slums.
Yeah, okay. The fucking CG Slums, which is that's a place I will go to on my channel. I'm going to talk about them fuckers, okay? We will get to that.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. I'll be waiting. We'll have to, maybe I'll react to it with Katie or Tony or something.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. Everybody go subscribe to Armed Ape on YouTube. He's on the road to 500, much like I am. By the way, this channel is 25 subscribers from 500 subs. So we did pretty good because that Brandon Herrera video brought in an extra like 20 or so people. So we're getting closer and closer every day. And the watch hours are doing pretty good. We're up to like close to the limit. So I'm trying to get to the monetization rank so we can get live streams. We'll have chat stuff. I have a lot of plans for that. I want to do like some fun stuff that other streams don't do when people chat and things like that. So we're going to make it fun.
On
if I could get away with it. All right.
You need to make a lot of super chat money so you get a good lawyer and be like, man, I just don't like paying. You can give out a Soros DA and fight the cops and they'll let you off, which is cool. There's actually some cool stuff about that. I can't.
So go ahead and give out your Twitter, Kareem, and Armed Ape, give out your Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff.
My mouth is going to get me in trouble soon. So you can find me at Kareem6633. I'm also working on, I also will have a project, pretty cool project that will be going on after the Recton Wall campaign. More on that later. And in addition to that, I've recently talked with the voluntarist Anium Picentia. I think I'm saying his name right. If you're familiar with him, he's created an app called the Connector app, which is an app you can utilize on your phone to find other anarchists in your area and connect with them. So that should be good.
Interesting. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys. Oh, Armed Ape. Sorry.
Yes. Well, I put the Twitter at. There you go.
I need to add all of them to the side here, so
it's
I'll
a
have
lot easier
them
to just type it into fucking say FM Universe 84. And of course, the channel is Armed Ape. You can see the name right there, and that's all you gotta look for. Look for the monkey in the hat and the name Armed Ape, and you have hit the home of terrible fucking YouTube content. Thank you very much.
Woo! Awesome. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.